entrepreneurs powering GovTech solutions across the world. So since 2018, Public has been running this pitch competitions as part of the summit. So after 4 years of successful editions, we're back this year, again, bringing you some of the most exciting and dynamic examples of great GovTech innovation. I'm really excited to give the floor to my colleague, Sofia Silva, Program Associate at Public, that will be moderating the competition. Please welcome Sofia.
Thank you, Chiara, and welcome everybody to the Pitch GovTech competition. So at Public, we truly believe that startups are key to transforming government, and that is the reason why we have put together a global stage for them to showcase their solutions. Now, a few weeks ago, we launched an open call for the startups to join our competition. We welcome startups from all regions, all industries, and all sizes, and we received nearly 150 applications. And that has been one of the most successful competitions up to date here in the GovTech Summit. The 6 best of them are pitching here today. But of course, there can only be one winner. And we are really pleased to have with us today a wonderful panel of global GovTech experts that will be deciding on who that is. So we are pleased to welcome Mick Weineck, head of Accelerate Estonia. He's bringing the perspective from the Baltic GovTech pioneers. We also have Idoia Ortiz-D'Artignano, CEO at Gove, who's bringing the Ibero-American perspective and representing the GovTech ecosystem in the region. We also have Marta Krupinska, head of Google for Startups in the UK, bringing that British perspective. And we have Jamie Berryhill as well, innovation specialist at the OECD, bringing a policy and a North American perspective. So thank you so much to our jury for joining, and let's kick off. So our first pitching startup truly believes that sustainability is a key element in the fight against climate change. All the way from the UK, this startup is making the world's waste visible, verifiable, and valuable through mapping and machine learning. So please, let's welcome on stage with a round of applause, Michael Groves, CEO of Topolytics.
Hi, my name's Mike, and I work in waste management. Sounds really simple, doesn't it? But actually, if you think about waste, it's a significant and complex supply chain. You've got multiple materials being generated by multiple entities. That material is then collected and moved and processed through a whole series of sites and transformations before something happens to it. But globally, more than 60% of all that waste material is still going into a landfill or is leaking into the environment. So we've got a job to do to make that system more visible, and that's what we do. We're making that system more visible, verifiable, and valuable. So essentially, we're doing that through our cloud-based SaaS platform, WasteMap. As we're bringing in supply chain data from across kind of many, many waste management companies. So granular data on the collection and the movement of that material. We standardize it, we normalize it, we clean it, and then we can then start to generate actionable insights for our customers. So our customers would be big companies that produce waste and want to know what's happening to it and what the impact of that is. It could be recyclers who themselves have got a significant supply chain, or it could be government, cities who are moving waste, or national government that's regulating and setting policy around waste and resource efficiency. So we're out in the market, WasteMap's out there in the market, and we've built a position in the waste tech kind of market, and we're building a sort of ecosystem of technology partners and industry partners, which is allowing us to sort of reach into international markets. The team is based in Scotland, and we built the platform ourselves. And really, the team, if you like, and the platform triangulates on 3 things. So we've obviously got the technology in terms of software expertise and data science. But importantly, waste and recycling and circular economy, that's our domain. So we've got people in the business that have actually run waste and recycling businesses and understand the business models, understand how the industry works, and understand some of the sort of challenges with the data, because if we have to be absolutely certain ourselves around some of the limitations of the data that we're seeing across the supply chain. So essentially, in terms of that, our work with government, we worked with the UK government on the UK's mandatory digital waste tracking system. So we took our approach and our expertise into that project, and that will be a mandatory system that all of the waste companies will be required to push data into in the UK. But we're also working with some cities in the UK and Asia Pacific who are looking at material flows and want to actually optimize what happens to that material and reduce the impact of moving that material across the city. So really what we say to all of our customers or potential customers is, let Topolytics get inside those trash bins so that you don't have to. Thank you.
Thank you, Michael. So let's see what our jury has to say about your solution.
Amazing pitch, thank you so much. You've mentioned working with the UK government, but you haven't told us much about your traction. So can we have a little bit of color on that?
Yeah, so we bootstrapped the business initially. So we built the platform through a whole series of commercial kind of projects, POCs and grants. And we've taken our first investment this year. So we've taken £900,000 of high net worth investment this year, so seed investment. So we've now got WasteMap out in the market, and we've got revenue, ARR revenues, as well as kind of project revenues as well. But obviously, what we're really now trying to do is scale up the ARR. Yeah, absolutely. So we are working alongside SAP in some territories, so Japan, Australia, done some work in the USA. Obviously, there's a job to be done even in the UK and Europe. But yeah, I mean, making the world's waste visible, verifiable, and valuable. So I've made that commitment. So we're trying to be true to that.
Thank you.
All right, thank you, Michael, and good luck. We are moving right on to our second pitch. And now let's imagine that we take a teleportation machine and that we land on one of the most linguistically diverse regions in the world. Where would that be? In the Middle East. And that is precisely where our next startup is generating enormous value. This company provides the most accurate speech and text APIs for locally spoken languages in Asia, the Middle East, and Africa. So let's welcome on stage Felix Laumann, CEO at NeuralSpace. Give him a round of applause.
Let me start with a short animation. Observe how this gentleman is trying to use a chatbot, but the chatbot does not understand any Hindi, what the gentleman is speaking, and only English. There are millions of people around the world who do not speak English as their first language, but they are forced to use it in every aspect of modern-day life. Hi, I'm Felix, the CEO and co-founder of NeuralSpace, and we have built the most accurate speech and text AI in more than 100 languages. Our one-stop solution, which is an all-in-one platform, serves anything from language understanding, which means automatically understanding customers' questions and customer queries, to accurately transcribing speech or voice to text, to synthetically generating voice based on text, sentiment analysis, and many more features. All of that in more than 100 languages, dialects, or accents. We have worked on 3 different government use cases, both on a national and local level. First, we have built a chatbot for a municipality in Sweden that does not only understand Swedish, but also 20 more languages because their residents come from all over the world. Secondly, we have worked with the national government to detect infectious disease very early. We do so by scanning 500,000 of local newspaper articles every single day for any signs of an infectious disease outbreak. And thirdly, we work with the national government to detect potential security threats very early in email. Nowadays, we scan every day 1 billion emails for any signs of a security threat to that local government. What about data privacy? Our technology can be installed on a private cloud, which is online. Everything can be installed on-premise, fully offline, without any internet connection, or even on the devices of our customers. A bit more about our company. We have been around for 3 years, were founded in 2019, have grown to 25 employees now, got more than 3 million in investment, and now serve 350 customers from around the world. My co-founder Nayushman and I are very grateful to be here, and if you have any questions, please get in touch. Thank you.
All right, so thanks, Felix. Let's open the floor to questions from our judges.
Thank you so much. It's very interesting. So can you let us know a little bit more about your business-to-government strategy? And how many clients from public institutions do you have today?
How many clients from?
From public institutions or?
Yeah,
public
we have 5 municipalities in Sweden that we serve now through a customer, or through a partner of us that is based in Sweden. We have on the direct, the other 2 cases, we work also with partners. So the second case was with a company that specialized on medical records, let's say, or on medical information, medical text, and they wanted us for their language detection, for their accurate understanding in local languages. So these 500,000 of local newspaper articles obviously come from around the world, especially from China, from India, Pakistan, Bangladesh, and all of these countries. And we have very accurate understanding for those local languages. And the third one is again through a partner in the US, and they work with governments around the world for their email detection.
Any more questions? No? OK, thanks, Felix. Good luck. All right. So we are halfway through our pitch competition, and we're now moving on to health tech. And there is a famous quote from psychiatrist Carl Jung that states, "Medicine cures diseases, but only doctors can cure patients." And that resembles very much the mission of our next startup and the way they use voice and artificial intelligence to monitor patients at home. So all the way from sunny Spain, we're welcoming María González Manso, CEO of Tucuvi.
One of every 2 people in this room is living or is going to live with a chronic condition. Chronic conditions are the leading cause of death and the largest cost driver of healthcare systems. Why? Because chronic patients are not receiving the continuity of care that they need. Why? Because there is a shortage of healthcare professionals. Just in Europe, we are lacking 4 million healthcare professionals. And healthcare systems and hospitals just cannot cope with chronic patient management. So we need to reimagine how we deliver high-value care and effective healthcare. In Tucuvi, we realized that phone calls are the most common and preferred alternative to face-to-face visits. Doctors spend around 2 hours every day phone calling patients, and yet they just reach a few patients. And we are talking about hundreds and thousands of patients. So we wanted to change that. And we developed the first CE mark artificial intelligence software that automates medical phone calls. It is based on a platform for healthcare professionals and a medical virtual assistant named Lola for patients. So it's deep tech, but very simple to use. First, healthcare professionals choose the care pathway that they want to automate for the patients. And second, Lola just phone call the patients, speak with them in a natural way. They have long, open, empathic conversations with them. And third, our natural language processing algorithms analyze the information and send back structure and prioritize health data to healthcare professionals, detecting patients who are deteriorating, enabling faster and more efficient interventions. And we also help healthcare managers to deliver population health. We help them to answer questions such as, do I need more people in the emergency room tomorrow? Or do I need to invest more educational resources in this area? We've been working for 3 years with the most innovative healthcare systems, and we help them to reduce chronic condition management costs by 70% and multiply by 30 their care capacity, their monitoring capacity at home. And all of this with outstanding patient satisfaction and engagement. 3 years ago, it was just Marcos and me, both biomedical engineers. Now we are a growing team of 12 people, AI engineers, conversational designers, doctors, nurses, backed by global VCs and also with 5 million euros for the European Commission, working to shape the future of healthcare. Because by leveraging AI, all patients can receive the care they need. And all healthcare systems can be innovative, can be efficient, can be accessible. So in Tucuvi, we're working to make sure that that happens and that every patient receives the care they need when needed. Thank you.
Thank you, María. So, jury panel, please. Let's ask your questions.
Thank you for a very good presentation. So what are some of the more curious things that you have actually learned from those automated conversations that wasn't so visible?
Yeah. First, that elderly people, that are most of our patients, we've attended more than 30,000 patients. They love speaking with a virtual assistant if it is properly designed. If it is not, if they do not feel that it's a robot. So we put a lot of effort on making it conversational. So that's the first thing. And the second is that the acceptability from healthcare professionals, that sometimes robotics or AI seem like maybe it's stealing my job, things like that. If explained properly, they also feel like, okay, I'm released. Like someone is making part of the job that I don't really love. It's giving me more information so I can better do my job. So that's the hypothesis that we started with and that we learned through the journey.
We have time for another question. No more questions? All right, okay, then let's move on to the next pitch.
Thank you.
Okay, so how many of you have ever in your lives reflected on how different your life would be if you were walking on someone else's shoes? Probably a lot of you. And that's something that our next team does incredibly well every single day. All the way from Japan to France, they have been walking in the shoes of people with disabilities and redesigning browsing experiences online to meet their needs, and the needs specifically of each individual's particular condition. So let's welcome on stage Yves Cornu, CEO of FACIL'iti.
Hello, my name is Yves, and we're here to talk for a moment about tech for good. Did you know that according to the World Health Organization, 25% of the world population faces difficulties to access online content because they cannot read it, understand it, or interact with it properly? And now we have a problem, because most of your services are now online, and without willing it, you're creating a new type of exclusion, which is e-exclusion. Of course, it's bad for your reputation, and it can even lead to a loss of revenues. And this is where FACIL'iti comes into the picture. By personalizing the user experience on your digital tools, we open them to those who don't have access to it. People with Parkinson's disease who can't click on a small zone, people who have low vision, people who are colorblind, etc. All of the adaptations we provide have been co-created with associations and users because we want to answer the real needs of real people. But let's take one example, the example of a dyslexic person who wants to browse on the web. They represent 8% of the population. And this is how they see the page on their screen. The letters look like they're dancing because their brain is like playing with alike-looking letters. A U becomes an N, a P becomes a B. So when they face a regular web page, they understand 25% of its content. They will open the FACIL'iti interface to select the adaptations they need. First, they will change the font of this website, and then they will space out the words to make it more easy for them to identify each word. Then they will declare which letters are confusing for them, and it's different from one to the other. And you see color patches appearing on the screen so that the brain doesn't focus on the letter any longer, but on the color. They can even have a reading guide to help them focus on one line at a time. So now the web page looks like this, and we have increased their reading understanding from 25% to 85%. This has all been made possible thanks to our great team based in the southwest of France. They go from PhDs to in-house trained young people with difficult backgrounds. As you can see, we are already working worldwide on national, local, or regional governments. And our next steps will be to go on focusing with partnerships with associations to provide always more adaptations and to expand our worldwide growth. So in short, FACIL'iti is very quick and easy to implement because you don't have to change anything on your existing website. It is affordable for you as an organization, and it is free and safe for the user. So please, don't forget the core of your public service mission and help us fight e-exclusion. Thank you very much.
Thanks, Yves. Let's open the floor for the questions from the judges.
Yeah, thank you very much for the presentation. I was just hoping you could spend a little time talking about how the product adds more value than stronger accessibility guidelines or something, for example.
The problem with the accessibility guidelines, be it in Europe or worldwide anyway, is that they mostly focus on people who are blind and who need to use a reading help like a screen reader or whatever. But it's just a small part of the iceberg. How can you personalize the UX? That's what's really at the core of what we provide, because we want that each user has in front of him, on his screen, on his mobile phone, on his laptop, wherever, a personalized way of seeing a website, because you can have Parkinson's disease and be colorblind. You can be dyslexic and have, I don't know what, multiple sclerosis, whatever. And each user has a different need. When you just focus on the WCAG guidelines, you always have one screen version of your website, and that's not what we want. We want really to personalize the user experience.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, Yves.
Thank you.
Round of applause. Okay, so our next startup is helping governments unlock the power of AI. Their solution is fast and efficient, allowing teams to find and fix errors in their training data and ensuring quality control. So let's welcome on stage Ulrik Stig Hansen, co-founder at Encord.
Hello, everybody. I'm Ulrik, co-founder and president of Uncord. We're a London-based computer vision company with about 40 people now. I started the company about 3 years ago. Now, the defense sector's ambitions are clear. AI and computer vision will drive the future of national security. Whether it be identifying objects in real time, powering unmanned vehicles, or conducting automated damage assessments, AI is front and center in many emerging technology applications. And our mission is to enable every company, organization, government to unlock the power of this technology. But what all these technologies have in common is that they are powered by complex deep learning techniques that require a lot of labeled data. And just like the effectiveness of a new recruit, depending on the quality of his or her training materials, the performance of an AI application depends on the quality of the labels that it's been trained on. So in other words, to build mission-ready computer vision applications, we need massive amounts of high-quality labeled training data. So today, the defense sector has access to vast amounts of data. The main issue is that it is unusable by AI until it is labeled. But of course, human labeling is manual, it's insecure. That's typically because it's sent or outsourced to low-cost countries to get annotated. Now, of course, defense data specifically is often classified and highly sensitive, and it does require an expensive image analyst in the case of computer vision to label. So, to give a more concrete example, if you're looking to detect an object like a tank in real time, you need labels that localizes and classifies the tank and feed that into the algorithm. So we have an example here of a bounding box drawn around a tank. So to solve this problem in a more effective way, we created a platform purpose-built to label, evaluate, and manage defense and geospatial data in particular. The platform is currently being used by leading defense companies to automate the labeling workflows, giving their image analysts superpowers. And our customers, they use our platform because it provides native support for all defense-specific visual modalities, so from high resolution, optical RGB, to SAR data, to infrared, to drone footage. Our automated labeling capabilities are powered by a novel technology that we invented called micromodels, which helps you automate up to 99% of your manual labeling tasks. This is really a game changer in decreasing the time to production for computer vision applications. So in summary, Encord can help you tap into basically 3 main outcomes. 1, it empowers your image analysts to focus with better automated data labeling workflows, improving efficiency and the quality of the data. 2, you can deliver value from AI initiatives faster and at scale. And finally, you can unlock new mission-focused computer vision capabilities that will strengthen the AI adoption of AI in defense. We are Uncord. Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, let's take some questions from our jury panel.
2 questions. Could you briefly speak about the team? And I think you had a slide up there, but you weren't able to get to it. And another one is, could you maybe give a couple examples of use cases or ways you'd sell outcomes to a potential vendor of how they could use this or what they could achieve with it, besides better labeling?
Yeah, definitely. So I think team speaks for itself. We raised $20 million last year, so we focused on growing the team. We have a great set of very talented ML engineers that are working on improving the efficiency of our algorithms and automation features and all these other things. With respect to use cases, we have a bunch. So one of the most, I think, interesting ones would be for synthetic aperture radar data. It's a data modality that's very hard, even for very trained image analysts, to decipher and understand. Using our software, they're able to drastically decrease the time it takes to annotate that data, and of course use that for a variety of security applications.
Thank you. Anyone else?
Okay, I think that's it. Thanks,
Right.
Ulrik.
Thank you.
All right, so our last startup may give you a sense of what predicting the future would look like. So listen up, Matrix ones. This company is leveraging citizen real-time feedback through ethical artificial intelligence to help decision makers anticipate their needs. So let's welcome on stage Yves, Seneor, Chief Technology Officer at Citybeats.
Hi. Have a look at this jar and take a guess how many marbles are in it. Studies show that nearly no one will get it right, but if we take the average of the guesses, we can get pretty close. And this is an example for the wisdom of the crowd. Hello, everyone. My name is Abby, and I'm the CTO of Citybeats. In Citybeats, we are in a mission. Oh, the slides are messed up. In Citybeats, we are in a mission to help decision makers to integrate citizen opinion into their decision making. We live in a data explosion world. 90% of the data had been generated in the last 2 years, with each person generating nearly 50 gigabytes of data every month, and 80% of this data is unstructured. So we really need a way to capture the essence and the meaning of the data. Oh, I don't know what's going on with this slide, but there are slides missing, so I will just talk. And that's exactly what we do at Citybeats. We are connected to more than 1 million public data sources of citizen opinion in any language and in real time, and we use NLP and machine learning to extract insights for decision makers so they can make decisions based on people's real needs and concerns. So just to give you some visibility on the product, we provide an end-to-end platform to facilitate the discovery of millions of people voices. And
it's okay. Don't worry. You can take perhaps a second to breathe.
No, it's fine. In the platform, you can navigate the data through social indicators like perception of inflation and civil unrest. We can also detect anomalies in the data, detect biases, and give you automatic warnings for signals of, sorry. And just some examples from the real world. This is FACIL'iti, a project that we did with the Inter-American Development Bank. They use Citybeats in order to empower social project in the Amazon basin. An example of an insight was we found a group of indigenous women that were preserving seeds for biodiversity, and that helped IDB to fine-tune a budget for bioeconomy project. Another example is WHO, the World Health Organization. We know that COVID was an example of the length that misinformation can go. So WHO, they used Citybeats technology to launch an initiative in 39 countries and 7 languages to track and detect narrative of misinformation around COVID and vaccines. And another example is from entity data. They use Citybeats to collect data from citizens and tourists in rural areas to help the Japanese government to prioritize investment for damaged infrastructure. Now, we are based in Spain, and we are a team of 37 humans from 13 different nationalities. And now if we go back to play with marbles, think of this jar as our society and the marbles as opinion. And why do decision makers should take citizen opinion into the decision making? Well, because no individual is as intelligent as all of us. Thank you.
Thank you, Abby. You can now breathe. It's fine. It's over. It's okay.
By the way, there are 271 marbles here. I counted on the plane. And it took all the space in my suitcase.
Thank you so much. There were amazing examples of, thank you for the explanations. And you're the CTO, so tell us a little bit more about the technology behind Citybeats.
Thank you for the question, because I'm good with technology. As you can see, I'm getting nervous pitching. So basically what we have, the core of our technology is NLP, natural language processing. So we are connected to publicly available data sources. It's not scrubbing. It's all done in an ethical way. We don't store any PII. We use federated learning to train the model, so there is no storing of any information. And then we have different models, mainly self-supervised learning, and not just, to find these insights. So it's not just sentiment analysis. We have gender detection and intent detection and some other interesting things. We also developed social indicator with NYU and Princeton, which are basically can show you trends in the society in social indexes like civic unrest, perception of inflation, distrust. So you can see, you can navigate the data through these lenses and see how the trend is going up and down. Yeah, that's the core of the technology. And another interesting thing is because we are very much focused in the ethical part, so we are now going open source, just in our data science model. It will not, we are a SaaS platform, so the SaaS part will still stay proprietary, but the data science, it's not just open source, it's open source data science, which means you open your model and also the pipeline and the data set. So first, client can see what we do, but also it's part of being transparent and ethical, so everyone can see how do we do what we do. Yeah.
Any other questions? No? Okay, Abby, you're free to go.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. Okay, so we have now heard from all of our finalists. So our jury will reconvene and decide on the winner. But before we do that, I would like to ask to join me on stage all 4 finalists.
I'm now going to invite back on stage Marta Krupinska, one of the judges of the Pitch GovTech competition, to announce the winner. Please welcome back Marta.
I feel like the glamorous assistant. Guys, I've always wanted to be your glamorous assistant. What a highlight of my day. Well, it's as always with these things, it's been a very, very difficult deliberation because all of the participants have been absolutely incredible. And when we sort of think about the impact that they can have on their communities, the teams that they've built, or the interest that they've managed to garnish from the investors. But as ever with these things, there is only one winner, only one person will be taking this glamorous prize back home, and we have a drum roll. Was it? And the winner is Tucuvi. So can we have María, the CEO? Don't know which way she would come from, but I hope she will emerge to receive María. Please come through.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Well, congratulations. Well, well done. This is for you. Speech.
Okay.
Acceptance speech.
We can hold this. I'll be the glamorous.
Thank you, all of you. Thank you for organizing the event. And just want to say that following up of what's been said in the video, without technology, it's difficult to obtain like real transformation. So this event is great to put together all the players to really make GovTech a reality. So yeah, thank you for pushing it.
Thank you. Thank you. Congratulations.